Good afternoon. Today we're going to try the Balvenie. It's a Balvenie 17 Peated Cask. Aged Balvenie introduced to heavily peated cask for the final period of maturation and then married to Balvenie finished in New American oak. Balvenie has several series of 17s. Just like I think they've done with their 15 with the sherry wood and then the bourbon cask. They have a new wood, new oak or something like that. Of course, they have the double wood, triple wood. They have they do a lot of different iterations. It is 43% alcohol by volume, and there's really, it says on Peated Cask, sweet spice and smoke. I paid $118.99 for it. So, and I'd seen it for a while and I kind of put off getting it because it was kind of on the expensive side. But it came to a point where I realized that finally if somebody else ever buys it, I'm never going to probably see another. So the time was the time. Anyway, I've got notes, so without further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to call it a medium gold color. Maybe a medium gold amber, a little darker. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's colored or chill filtered. But to tell you the truth, I really don't know. I really don't know. So I will leave it up to you to make assumptions about that. It really doesn't say anywhere on here that I can see, other than nowhere else will you find a distillery that still grows its own barley and still malts its own traditional floral maltings, that still has coopers that to tend the casks and a coppersmith to tend the stills. So it's about all I really get out of it. Anyway, once again, 43% alcohol by volume. 17-year-old. Smells good. And it is good. I will say this, the Balvenie nose on this is lighter than the flavor palette is. Much lighter than the flavor palette. It's got a good medium viscosity. Legs are slow, but then once they build up steam, they start running pretty quick. As it gets a little lower into it, they bead rather well. Apples, vanilla. And now I'm going to say something that you won't often hear me ever say. But in the very back of my nose, on this one, I get a little of that chewing tobacco smell. When you open a pouch of chewing tobacco, now I haven't chewed in years, and well, occasionally, no, I haven't chewed in years. When I would open the Red Man pouch, especially, or a beech nut pouch, you'd open it up and you get a whiff of odor that came off of that. I get that with this. You know, it's not strong. You got to kind of look for it. But again, the nose on this is a very light nose. I get it though, and a little fig Newton, but the fig smell kind of runs along with the tobacco smell. That's not, they're not the same, but they're not that far apart. It smells like a little fig Newton cake. And in truth, that's about all I get off of the nose. I don't get any peat on the nose on this. My nose is not that sensitive. But here comes the peat. Not overwhelming. Not like an Isla. It's a sweet peat. It's a very sweet vegetal note. The smokiness is The smokiness is a clean, smoldering campfire smell. Now, smokiness isn't an intense one. It's a real light hardwood campfire with the smoke that comes off of it is real thin and light. Again, the vanilla. Again, the apples. The fig Newton. I know I don't have the tobacco taste following up on this. Then we have a little spiciness coming in with nutmeg and black powder and a little salt at the end. I can taste that salt. The finish is a good medium to long finish. It's a very light finish, but it is a mouth coating finish. You really taste it on the back and the sides of your tongue. On my notes, I have a little licorice in it. I don't get that this time. The notes were done a couple of days ago, but it's not an experience I'm getting now with it. The fig's a little bolder this time around. In the finish, there's a little caramel. You really get a little caramel, especially on the back of the tongue. I know your sweetness should come from the tip of your tongue. And it kind of does, really. But it also rolls clear to the back of my tongue on top. And that's in that caramel, and that finish really stays with it. Overall, a quality dram. $4.17 for $118 in today's market. That's a good price. I'm going to score this. I got to score this. Let me explain. Because I've had problems with Balvenie before on the sherry cask. As it aged, now I can get it out, I get more of a finish with it. But when I had that sherry cask still down to here, I had very little finish in it. It came through in the nose, it came through in the palate, but the finish was a complete washout. In this case, the palate and the finish are good. The palate and the finish stays with it. The nose is kind of a washout. I don't know why that is about Balvenie, so we're going to score it. For the nose, I give it an 85 out of 100. But for the palate and the finish, it gets a 91 out of 100 for palate and finish, because it's really a good, easy drinking dram. In fact, if you could find it and you wanted to start somebody out on peat, this would be ideal. It's pricey for a starter dram on peat. There's no getting around that, if you could even find it. But the peat is so gentle on here that it makes it tolerable for people that don't normally drink peat. So with that said, I'm going to round it up and even it out, and I'm going to give it an 89 out of 100 all in all. At $118, would I buy this again? For the collector's value, yes, I would buy it again. For a drinking value, no, I probably wouldn't. For $118, I expect a more rounded whiskey to deliver. I expect nose through finish. Once you crest that $100 mark, in my opinion, I want nose, I want palate, and I want finish. And I want all three together. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. That being said, everybody have a great day. Remember, the spirit in your glass is not running from you. Take your time, sip it, and enjoy. You'll be better for it. And with that, good night.